All right. Good afternoon. I'm Diane Baxter, Chair of the LSP Board. Welcome to the February 10th, 2026 Board meeting. As always, the Board encourages interactive participation. If a member of the public would like to participate in the meeting, please type a question in the chat or raise your hand. I encourage all board members to turn their cameras on and ensure your cell phone is in silent mode. I'll now proceed with roll call vote to establish who is participating and confirm quorum. David Austin.
Here.
Gail Batchelder.
Present.
Kathy Campbell. Not yet. Craig Ellis. Is muted. Kirk Franklin. Not yet. Greg McBride.
Here.
Paul McKinley.
I am here.
Deirdre Manoyo.
Here.
Jamie Smith.
Present.
And Diane Baxter is here. Okay, that establishes quorum. Why don't we just go around the room also to identify who else is here?
I'm Terry Wood, the LSP Board Executive Director.
I'm Matt Lyon, staff member for the board.
Chris Borges, Mass DEP.
And Natasha Dix. Board staff is also on the line, online. And who else from the public is here? Chris?
We have Daniel Kelleher, Katrina Warner, Lars Anderson, Lori McCarthy, Mary Ellen Morris, Phil.
All right. Very good. So first up, we have the Continuing Education Committee meeting. David?
Sure.
Yeah.
Calling to order at 12:02, Continuing Ed Committee meeting. I assume there's no announcements or changes to the agenda. Meeting minutes from last month. Any comments or edits or a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Hearing no comments or edits. A yes is approving the meeting minutes from last month. Deirdre?
Yes. What is your question?
Approving the meeting minutes from last month. Are you abstaining?
I am abstaining, yes. I wasn't
Okay.
able to join at the right time.
Paul?
Yes.
Craig?
Abstain.
David's a yes. Diane?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
And Jamie?
Yes.
Is that everything? Is here?
Bill. Greg, Paul, Deirdre, Jamie. Yep.
Okay. So for new business, we have a bunch of course approval requests, and I was going to lump them into three, Midwest, Mass DEP, and then LSPA. So the first one, there's two requests from Midwest Geosciences. Both are in person. One's 7 technical credits relative to soil boring logs, and the other one is 16 technical credits, contaminant fate and transport fractured rocks, being offered on various locations on various days. I make a motion to approve the two.
I'll second.
Any discussions from the board or the public?
Looked good.
Yes is approving the two requests for Midwest. Deirdre?
Approve, yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
David's a yes. Diane?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Thank you. There's 3 requests from Mass DEP, all for the LSPA symposium on April 9th. Characterization of petroleum contaminated sites, 2 DEP regulatory credits, PFAS topic, 2 DEP regulatory credits, and then M&A of VOC's 1 DEP regulatory credit. They are being asked to be approved for in-person on April 9th, and then possible future on demand. Make a motion to approve the 3.
Second.
Any discussion from the board or the public? Yes is approving the 3 requests. Deirdre,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
David's a yes, Diane,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
and Jamie.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 requests here from the LSPA. One is the March membership meeting on data usability, 1 technical credit. And then all of the other ones are for the symposium on April 9th, various topics and credit amounts. They are all in person with future on-demand possibilities. And then for number 10, next generation bioremediation, it's a 1.5 technical course, and it was previously 1 hour course, so we're proposing to add a letter to the course number.
Yeah.
So I make a motion to approve the 6 requests.
Second.
Any discussions from the public or the board? So yes is approving the 6 requests in the LSPA. Deirdre,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
David's a yes, Diane,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
and Jamie.
Yes.
Last item is a course reoffering of a previously approved course. 2 different locations on 2 different dates. And our next meeting is March 10th. And that ends continuing ed meeting. Well, wait.
All right, very good. Next up is the professional conduct committee meeting. Could I turn it over to Kirk or Jamie for that?
Yeah, I could do that. I'll call to order the Professional Conduct Committee, 12:09. Any announcements or changes to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay, then we'll move on to review of the draft minutes from January 13th. Are there any comments or a motion to approve as written?
I move to approve. Second.
Okay. A yes is a vote to approve. Diane,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Deirdre,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Abstain.
Paul,
Yes.
and Jamie is a yes. Minutes are hereby approved. Moving on to old business. Can I turn that over for review of the active cases?
Sure.
Terry.
Just opening the document.
Yeah, I had an open question and I was wondering, just a thank you, so.
So the one active case, 24 CO2, at last meeting, the board approved an early settlement agreement for that case. After the meeting, I finalized the ACO to reflect the board's vote and sent it to the LSP's council. I heard yesterday that they're fine with the final version, so I sent them a PDF version for signature. So as soon as the LSP signs, I'll have it signed on our side, and then the discipline is scheduled to start on March 1st. And that's it.
Very
I
good.
have to say that we should all be very thankful that we have a very short open case list.
Yes. That'll clear it.
Very good. That being said, do we have any new business to discuss?
No new business.
Excellent. Then that'll put our next meeting at March 10th. And we
Something
I think he froze.
We'll say 12:11.
Okay. All right. Well, that brings us to the board meeting. I'll call to order at 12:11. Any announcements? I think we have one agenda change.
Yes, we're gonna move item 12, discussion of the regulation amendments to before item 7.
Okay. Very good. Any comments on the draft minutes? Not,
Motion to approve?
Okay.
Second.
Second. All right. Yes is approving the minutes. David Austin,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
he's not here, Craig,
Abstain.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Deirdre.
Mute.
Is Deirdre muted?
Yes.
Yes, she is.
Abstain, I'm sorry. I cough a
Oh,
lot,
you're-
so I do that.
Okay, Jamie
yes.
and Diana's a yes. Okay. All right. Do we have Sneha Kalagaria in the house?
She raised her hand.
Huh, okay.
Is she,
And gives a letter.
Sneha, going to give us a brief update on our iPass system. One moment. There we go. Okay, you should be able to. We should be able to hear you now.
Hello,
Sneha.
everybody. A very good afternoon to the members of the board.
Hi.
Okay, so today's update. We are a month into the annual fees. So far we got 357 LSPs, that is almost 85%, paid their annual fees as of today. And 92% of them actually used online payments, so which is a very good thing. In terms of improvements, we recently moved a renewal disciplinary disclosure. So now at the time of renewal, the applicants have to specify a particular disciplinary disclosure question, and the agency staff will look into that accordingly. We are currently working on a couple of changes. One is the email pass notification that I mentioned last board meeting. We completed the implementation. We are currently testing and will work with the LSP agency to finalize it. And the active work we are currently doing is the renewal credit changes. So we are working on the adjusting the required renewal credits. And the goal is to have all the changes in production late next week. And we're working on a few minor issues which are addressed promptly. And post all these, we'll be updating the SLR manual for the agency to work. So that's all I have.
All right, thank
Any
you.
feedback? Any questions from anyone? I can take it.
Thank
No
you.
question? All right, thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 6, decisions regarding licensing of applicants. Matt, could you present those?
Yes, so we have 3 new applicants to consider today for the exam. The first one is Lars Andresen, number 8029. Application review panel number 358. Reviewed the application with members Ellis, Baxter, and Batchelder. This applicant is an alternate track candidate, Bachelor of Arts degree in 2004 and a master's degree in 2005. The applicant claimed 16 plus years of total experience, with 11 plus years of that being relevant professional experience. The ARP met on January 16th to review and discuss the application. The ARP felt that the applicant had met the minimum requirements for total professional experience and relevant professional experience. Although the ARP didn't think one of his RPE positions demonstrated RPE, he had enough RPE experience in the other positions to meet the minimum requirement. The professional references confirmed the applicant's roles and project work. So with that, the ARP recommended that Mr. Andresen be approved to take the exam. Send it back to the board for consideration on the recommendation.
Okay, so a yes is approving Mr. Andresen for taking the exam. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Abstain.
Deirdre,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Diane is a yes. Next one.
Okay, next one, Harlan Whipple, number 2507. This is application review panel number 361, which was members McKinley, Campbell, and Smith. This applicant is a standard track candidate, Bachelor of Arts degree in 2014. The applicant claimed 9 years of total experience, with 7 plus years of that being relevant professional experience. The ARP met on January 26th to review the application. The ARP agreed that the applicant had met the minimum requirements for total professional experience and relevant professional experience. Although the ARP didn't think 2 of the RPE positions demonstrated relevant professional experience, the applicant had enough RPE experience in other positions to meet the minimum requirements. The ARP noted that the applicant had a good diversity of projects and various contaminants encountered. Also, the professional references confirm the applicant's roles and project work. So with that, the ARP recommended that Ms. Whipple be approved to take the exam.
All right, so we'll vote on that. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Deirdre,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes.
Okay, and then the last one here, Carl Siebert, number 1945. This is application review panel number 360, which was members Batchelder, Austin, and McBride. This applicant is a standard track candidate with a Bachelor of Science degree in 1999 and a Master's of Science degree in 2016. This applicant claimed 19 plus years of total experience with 11 plus years of relevant professional experience. The ARP met on February 4th to review and discuss the application. The ARP felt that the applicant had met the minimum requirements for both TPE and RPE. They indicated the applicant had a strong background in risk characterization with a good variety of contaminants dealt with. And the professional references confirmed the applicant's roles and responsibilities. With that, the ARP recommended that Mr. Siebert be approved and take the exam.
Okay, so I don't think I moved the previous ones. I guess I'll move to accept the recommendation.
Second.
Okay. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Deirdre,
yes,
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane. Approved. Okay, so next we come to the moved in
Yeah, number 12,
regulations
regulation.
section. Okay, Terry.
Okay, so the update regarding the regulation amendments, the final version of the updated regulations were published in the Mass Register on January 30th, 2026, and were effective as of that date. The new regulations have been put on our website along with the background document and a red line that shows what the changes are from the 2005 version. So people could easily see the differences. And also our response to comments document has been posted as well. So I have a few questions about the effect of the new regulations on LSPs that have requested 90-day extensions of the January 30th renewal. And people whose license lapsed because they had a January 30th renewal and they didn't renew, or somebody that lapsed previous to that because they have the year to come back and renew. So initially I was thinking people that applied for a 90-day extension for the January 30th, we could say, well, you were supposed to get the higher version of credits because the previous version of the regulations were in effect until January 30th, and everybody else that had to apply on the 30th needed the previous number of credits. But then somebody came in, an LSP who was set to renew on January 30th, did not have enough credits to request a 90-day extension, got some additional credits, now has 36 and a half credits, I think. And their license lapsed on January 30th. So they said, okay, now I have the 36 credits that are under the new regulations. I'd like to come back and have my license renewed. And so then I was thinking, well, that isn't fair to the people that have the 90-day extensions. And so the question is for you guys to vote on how we treat that. Like, do we let the people that got a 90-day extensions, they get the benefit of the new regulations because they happen to pass on the 30th? Because I don't really know, for somebody that has lapsed and has come back, like, I don't know if we have a good argument to say, well, you need to remain lapsed because you have enough credits, and when would we start saying that you can have the lower number of credits? So it just seems like that's a complication. So anyway, I think those are issues for you guys to vote on, like how you want to treat the people that got 90-day extensions for the January 3rd renewal, and how you want to treat anybody that may have lapsed and wants to come back. Because otherwise, obviously, anybody that's up for renewal on April 30th then will have the no lower credits. The other wrinkle we should mention is, as Sneha mentioned, probably in the next week or two, everything will be updated on the online system to have the new lower number. So if we were to say for some reason that people have to follow the higher number for some period of time, that's gonna screw up the online system. So anyway,
Normally, when someone lapses, they have to show that they were up to date on credits before. It's not like they start with a clean slate.
they can, like, if you, and some, Matt, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you lapse because you don't have enough credits to renew, to come back and show that you meet the renewal
Meet the-
requirements.
okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if you wanna vote like, on how we deal with the 90-day extensions, and then how we vote with the renewals, if you wanna do one motion, like, I don't know, but I think you guys should vote on that.
I don't think it matters, but what's the rough number for both categories?
So did we have 9 people?
We had 2 last month that got 90-day extensions, and there's 5 in the dock.
Oh, so 7.
Today.
Okay.
So it's the one time,
And
the last thing has only been one person, so.
So the one that lapsed, on docket number 3 today, for renewal.
Are there any others outstanding that may lapse, or that one lapsed, is that the only lapsed person, or is that the only lapsed person who's requested, who's come back forward? You know,
On January that had lapsed, there was 5. So I don't know about the others, what their intentions. What the intentions are for those.
Matt, you cut out at one point there. Can you just repeat what you said?
There was, for the January 30th group, there was 5 LSPs that did not renew, and one submitted a renewal application within the past couple of days to come back in. And for the other LSPs that have lapsed, I don't know what their intentions are, or even the one for prior renewal periods. No, we don't ask what their plans are.
Why aren't you? So I don't know if there's any discussion, if anybody has questions.
Well, I'll go first then. This is Greg. I think that someone who was acting within the old system should stay within the old system and then proceed into the new system when they renew again. But I don't think they should be allowed to ask for an extension and then not have to have their full credits. I understand it causes an issue with the online system, and I'm sure we can find some paper for relatively few people that so they would reapply that way. The lapsed person, I don't have a strong feeling about, but it seems unfair to lapse and then not have to do their full credits, but I could be convinced otherwise, I guess, on that one.
I think I tend to agree with Greg's perspective. I just, the fact that you didn't have the credits means you didn't meet your obligations during the time frame that theoretically you were supposed to, and it isn't fair to all the people that did, I guess, is the way I look at it. It's fairness for all the people that did meet their obligation.
Yes.
That if you were under the old system, you need to stick with the requirements for the old system, and then the next time you renew, you're all set for the new one.
I guess my concern is, I don't know then, so basically, what about other people that might come, like, when are we gonna say somebody that's lapsed that comes back, when are these new regs, which were effective on the date that they were published, when do they apply? I guess I'm just a little.
yeah,
Well, put the lapse
about-
group aside for the minute. Let's just deal with the individuals who were late and needed the extra time to complete their credits. And again, I'm not going to repeat myself, but I agree with the way that Gail presented it. But the lapsing, and again, I understand that could be an ongoing problem, but it doesn't seem like it'd be a lot of people, so perhaps it'd be handled the same way by a paper system or something.
So for that lapsed person, just if, do you see a legal issue?
There could be somebody, I mean, if somebody could say, well, why are you not, the regs are effective, why can't I take advantage of this?
Yeah,
I could see somebody challenging that,
Yeah.
and I guess, I felt on a better legal footing for the 90-day extensions because they they didn't have the credits they needed for the 90 days. They applied for the 90-day extension under the new rules. So it's like, okay, well, you got the extension, so go ahead and get the extra credits. I guess I'm a little leery on the lapsed people because when, there are 4 other people that lapsed, they could come back in a month or two. And what do we say? That we're gonna treat, even though the regs are effective, we're gonna say they don't apply until you have an April 30th renewal deadline, and I don't know if there's a legal challenge there.
well, the other thing is if somebody who's been lapsed for longer comes back and you've said lapsed people have to meet the old requirement. Does that still stand, a year from now? If a lapsed person comes back, do they still have to meet the
No.
requirement that was in place at the time?
We'll have to
They only
reapply after
lapse
a year.
for months. Because they have to renew in 1 year.
I guess I just didn't know if it was worth the headache
Yeah,
or, the potential of somebody complaining
yeah,
for, I mean, it's a difference of what, 12 credits, like it's not that big a
Right.
deal. It's a one-time thing.
yeah,
You could argue and say you got lucky, the regs changed on this date.
yeah. And I think looking at the logic that Gail presented for, you didn't meet your obligation. If you didn't get enough credits, you could flip that and say, well, the credits are really required for you to come into a new license period, not to complete, you're already acting as an LSP, allowed to act as LSP regardless of how many credits you've accrued over the year. You just, by the end, in order to keep your license, you have to get, you have to have the credits.
And the last person currently can't submit anything. They lapsed on the 30th, so, the 90-day extensions, they're not gonna have any loss of license. They're already in that period, they have to go get the credits, but this person doesn't have, I mean, it's their own fault, obviously, they didn't have enough credits, but like, how long are you gonna let them not have a license to get the additional credits when the regs have changed? I don't know. I guess I'm just concerned about a legal challenge.
Well, there's also all those lapsed people that, or the people that are on inactive status and all that other stuff. When they come back in, do they have to have that obligation to have done credits or not? Just lapsed people, right? For lack of credit.
If you're inactive and you come back, it's based on how much time you had in your previous renewal cycle. So say you had 6 months left before you had to renew, then you still have 6 months when you come off inactive status. And you would, so if somebody comes, so if somebody's on the inactive status and they come off inactive within the next couple months and they don't have a long period, I would argue that they should be able to take advantage of the lower credit requirements.
Well, I think that was my point. It's like those people, I would say they do get to take advantage of it. And therefore, could we say that there is a distinction between applying for the extension and the lapsed? It's really just one, it's almost like it's one lapsed person at this point.
It is.
That happens.
At this point, it is.
It is. There could be more, but I mean, I guess my only concern was, well, if you let that person, if we're nice to that person, then they're kind of getting off easier than the 90-day extension people. But I mean, it's a one-time weirdness, so you guys can decide what you want to do.
Did the lapsed person have a 90-day extension that expired?
Nope, they didn't have enough credits to request one.
Oh.
So it seems like we ought to apply the same standard, at least for the 90 days. just to
Right.
be
I
consistent.
agree. Yeah, I mean, if they didn't even have, so this gets to that meeting your obligation thing in my mind, that you're to be able to reapply, you need to have demonstrated that you were diligent and got your credits. And if the person didn't even have enough, then they weren't being diligent to get them. And so I guess I feel that they should be in the same category as the 90-day extension people.
I was gonna say that the folks that have an existing 90-day extension now, if they feel aggrieved and having to take 12 credits, they can certainly let their license lapse April 30th and reapply as a lapsed license on May 1st.
And go inactive.
Yeah, but
Go inactive
most
status.
people wouldn't want that unless they're not an active LSP, because most people wouldn't want to have a lots of places.
So the one that we're talking about here that reapplied as a lapsed license, he's not active right now, so he doesn't have the benefit of having an active status.
Right,
That's his penalty.
so anyway.
It seems to me that we might be overcomplicating it. I mean, really, the date that the requirements changed was kind of arbitrary. It was, based on, we had been working on it for so long, and it was all up to the review times of, people outside our control. It easily could have happened 2 weeks sooner or 2 weeks later. So to, basically penalize everyone or have a different, for really one day, it just seems like we're putting, making too much of it.
What we could do is always let the people that got their credits by January 31st or whatever, January 30th, whatever it is, we could let them take a few of their credits and roll them over into the next renewal period to be totally fair to everybody. But that would be very complicated, but it would just be the most fair.
Please.
We're not gonna waive any requirement or whatever.
I'm just pointing out that's the logic. It's like if you're going to waive something for some portion of that group, it seems like the guys that got their stuff in time should get some benefit. But I understand it's not realistic, but that's what it would amount to, is letting them have 12 less credits next time or whatever.
I think if it was just the folks who requested an extension, I think that was easier, but with this potential complication of the lapse people.
Yeah, that changed my view yesterday. I was like, oh, of course, there's one who's already lapsed.
Right.
And wants to come back with a lower credit amount already. Yeah. I mean, so basically it's 8 people we're talking about at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very finite problem, and I think we got to treat both groups the same, frankly. So if we're going to allow it for the last people, I think we got to allow it for the extension folks as well. And given this is really a one-time thing that's only applying to a few people, sure, it looks like they were able to game the system a little bit, but probably wasn't intentional to the point that, we didn't really know when these things were going to get fully promulgated until they were. So I'm not
and one day would, and if they had been promulgated a month earlier, an awful lot of people would have been in the position where they were already, they didn't have to worry about it. Well, they would have already had their credits by then because they were responsible, but it's just, there's not much we can do about the timing. It is what it is.
Well, if we need to take a vote, I'll make a motion to approve or to allow the application of the new regulations to this situation.
Both situations, you mean, right?
Yes.
And I'll second. So just to clarify, you're proposing that we allow
The lesser credit amount.
both groups of candidates to go through with the lower number of credits.
Yes.
Okay.
So that would mean somebody who has a 90-day extension is moving to a straight renewal after their The,
As long as they have the new.
They've already
they have
qualified.
certificates to get the 90-day extension. Yeah, we can tell them that's their lucky day.
as long as they have 9 DEP credits of the 36.
Yeah, we'll just
Right.
have to send them an email letting them know that.
So, okay.
Okay, so to vote now, David.
I renewed in January, so I can't really be objective, so I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
I think that was coming to before you. There were some LSPs that scrambled at the end of January to get to the 48. You know, they were thinking the regulations might change sooner, so just keep them in mind.
Yeah.
Well, the discussion's over. We're voting.
It's not an ideal situation, for sure. Gail?
How screwed up will it get if I abstain just because I undecided? I can go the other. I can approve it, but I don't want to. Let me say that.
We don't
I'd
have
like
to be
to abstain
unanimous
for
in
now.
everything.
Right. I'd like to abstain.
But
So abstain or what's your vote?
I'd like to abstain.
Okay, Kathy's not here. Craig?
I work with one of the people that are on this list. I'm gonna abstain.
That's not what we're voting on.
Okay, Kirk isn't here, right? Greg?
No.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna,
I don't think it's
there's not
gonna
gonna be
pass.
enough people.
Paul?
I'm a yes.
Deirdre?
I have to abstain. I missed the conversation. I'm sorry.
Jamie?
Yes.
And Diane, yes, but we won't, so we have only 4 votes, so that's not a quorum, right?
Yeah, and I actually I don't know what the rule, I'd have to check to see whether that's enough, like that counts, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do, we gotta let people know.
Should we split the question?
I don't think it would change my vote, really. So, I mean, other people may feel differently, but I don't think it would change mine.
I'd be a no then because I think they need to be treated the same.
That I actually agree with. I think we really can't separate the two and make it different for the lapsed person versus the people that at least got their extension request in. I do think they should be treated the same, whatever that is.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I guess with that said, does that drive you to not abstain? Does it drive anyone to not abstain? Would anyone change to a vote, I guess?
No.
So we have 3 yeses?
So we have 3 yeses, 1 no, and 4 abstains.
Well, Terry, can you find out if that's a
Looking
a legal
right
vote or
now,
not?
the most common rule is in the absence of an express statutory, a simple majority vote, if there's a quorum, is enough.
But
But
how
that's
does it
not a
state-
majority, yes. For the
Especially
number.
sometimes when 1 or more members were absent or abstained from voting.
So we
Can I ask
don't.
Can I ask a question? Like, aren't the new regs like in effect currently? So like the new.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like if we're voting here as a board on whether to allow these 2 pools of candidates to move forward, wouldn't we need to apply the rules as they currently sit with the new credit requirements?
I mean, I'm concerned about the lapsed ones. I thought there was a legal argument for people that got 90-day extensions because they got a 90-day extension before the regs changed, although that's actually not true, because there's some people on docket today. I mean, they had until the January 30th to apply for that, right? So they did that before the regs changed, so I felt like we had a decent legal argument to say, okay, you had a January 30th renewal, you were able to take advantage of the 90-day extension, you did, you're then being treated like everybody else that had a January 30th renewal, and so, we're gonna make you need to get the higher level of credits like everybody else did. I don't know how, I'm worried about the people that lapsed. I mean, I guess we can argue and tell this one person, you had a January 3rd renewal. If we were to let you take advantage of this new change, we're treating you differently than everybody else, although everybody else didn't know that the regs were changing. So I guess I'm a little concerned about that. And I guess I don't see the big deal since it's just so few people.
Except that all the people that did renew spent a lot of extra money to get credits. That's part of it.
But it's a one-time thing, and it's just the way the way things happen.
It wasn't anything anyone could control. Some people rolled the dice, and
It could be a one-time thing for those people that still have to get 48.
So I'm sorry. Can I interrupt? This is Deirdre. I just, if someone could tell me what you just voted on, I'm sorry, I had an important call I couldn't miss.
so the vote was whether or not, so we have a group of people who requested a 90-day extension before the new regs were in effect.
Mm-hmm. They were under a different requirement than the new regs make, right?
And there was one person and there could be potentially a few others who lapsed, so they didn't have enough credits to submit for the 90-day extension.
Yeah.
They lapsed, and they now have requested, or one of them at least has requested, that they be allowed to renew under the new rules, because now the new regs are in effect. So
it's the lapsing that has you troubled. Like they actually lapse. Otherwise, somebody who needed to renew today would go under the new requirements, and there wouldn't be any problem about them getting the benefit of the new regs. So it's the fact that they lapsed is the problem.
Yeah, the people that requested 90-day extensions, they still have their license in effect. They would, if they get the 90-day extension, they'd still need to get the previous higher number of credits to renew.
So they need at least 12 more credits.
Yes.
Or
And they have
up
their
to
license.
12. And they continue to have their license. Whereas the lapsed person currently doesn't have their license, and we either are gonna say, okay, you're on board, you have enough credits, because they now have enough credits to renew with 36. So we'll either say they can renew with no more credits, or sorry, when you lapsed, it was under the old rules, so you have to get more. So the original vote was treat both of them the same and say, yes, everyone can come in without the new credits.
I see. All right. If you'd like, feel like I could vote. I suspect that this is sort of like a one-time event because of the change of the regs. It's not going to happen regularly. There's only two people that I understand lapsed, and I would treat them the same as the new person, and I would also say yes now. I think that's a fair. It's not great. There's no good answer in a way, but that's how I would handle it.
And I found an article that talks about the law, and I think once you have a quorum, a simple majority of the members present counts for the vote, and abstentions aren't counted. So we have 4 yeses, 1 no, 3 abstains. So I think we have a vote that would hold. So people that abstain want to stay abstain, that's fine.
Okay, no, not ideal, but
It's a one-time thing,
it's a
we'll never
one-time
know this
thing,
again.
exactly.
Unless in 20 years, people amend the regs again and I won't be here, so.
Do
Okay,
you have anything more in the regulation?
yes, so the last thing,
Let's go back, so the quorum was
So it's,
four yes out of 8,
but yes, so,
that's a majority?
I just said on the argument that I read, once you have a quorum, it's a simple majority of the members present and abstentions don't count.
Oh, they don't count, okay.
yeah. So we had 3 abstentions, we had 1 no, and we had 4 yeses.
So I think we're good.
So Deidre's fourth is the fourth yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
which
So
was not taken. It was just
Initially.
an add-on after further
But
discussion.
even without her, it still would hold, because we would have had 3 yeses and a no.
Okay, they just did with 5 votes. Out of 5, now you're 4 out of 5, right? The abstentions don't count,
Right. The abstentions.
either way, it's a majority.
One-time thing, we'll pass this and we'll go again.
It's still annoying.
You could recall the vote and make sure, but it sounds like you have a majority.
Okay. All right, the last issue is, now that the regs have changed, we are undergoing a process, as Sneha said, to change anything on the online platform to reflect the new updates, the correct numbers and credits that people need going forward, et cetera. One thing we had discussed before was updating the guidance document of how we interpret certain things, like what does it mean to complete polling questions? Like, you know, that we talked about as how we would view that. Another issue that we might want to visit, for example, is what is an appropriate assessment of learning. There might be other things too. So the issue is, how do you want to go about updating the guidance document? Do you want the staff to create one to review and the upcoming board meeting? Do you want to have a subcommittee to work on it jointly and then present it to the board as a whole? My sense is there's not going to be a lot of issues on the guidance document, but it's up to you how you want to go about it.
I feel like you guys could take the first stab at it and present it to us. Kind of like what happened in a lot of ways. That's what really happened with the regs in the end, is that I mean, we did have the subcommittee, but I feel like the guidance is something you guys could put together and then we could just review as a board.
I agree. I mean, and we have kind of a standard of practice we've already developed for some of the online stuff over the last few years since COVID. So I think as long as we, update the guidance to sort of reflect what we've been doing, then we should be okay.
I agree with that too.
Okay, that's good. Then we'll try to put that together for the next meeting. Okay, so now we can go back to 7.
Okay, 7, renewal applications, dockets. Right, so now that we just had the discussion that we had, let's see what our situation is. So we have, this docket of 5 who have requested a 90-day extension, all of them have at least 36, so now they will be notified.
They have at least 36. I don't know if they have 90 EP credits.
Oh, so we
That's
should
what I was going to say. The
probably-
DEP credits is separate, so you'd have to check to see if they met that requirement too, right?
So we should probably vote on it. The board should probably vote on it, and then we can let people know the vote on the other issue and then see. But at least they would have the 90-day extension if they needed it.
Right.
Yep.
That's what
Okay, so we'll vote to approve the 90-day extension, assuming it's approved.
Actually, if you want to give me a minute, I can probably find out if they have the 90 EP credits.
I don't
If you
think
want
it
to do
matters
document
for the
first.
vote. I think we just approve the
Yeah,
dockets.
let's just vote
I think
and get it over
people
with.
just vote on it, and then we can
Figure
deal with
it
it.
out.
Just
later.
figure out what happens to them, okay. All right, that's fine then.
Motion to approve docket number 1.
Second.
Okay. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Deirdre,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and I am a yes. That was a little easier than the last vote.
That is easy.
I was thinking that was the hardest one I've seen.
These used to go until 3 o'clock.
Okay, happy
You're doing a
this
great
new
job.
life. Okay, docket number 2. So this is all people who completed everything. All right, motion to approve.
Second.
Second,
All right. David,
yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Deirdre,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and Diane is a yes. All right. Next up is, do we have one more document?
Yes. Docket 3.
Okay. Now this is renewal date, new expiration date, so this is the lapsed person.
Correct.
Okay, and so what we're voting on here is the, well, we're doing the same thing, just vote what it was.
They've met all requirements for renewal based on the previous vote. They are able to take advantage of the updated requirements.
So we're really voting to renew, to put this person in the renewal category.
Yeah.
Okay,
So his new expiration date is not what it says there. It'll be January 30th, correct? Of 2029. Normally, it's April 30th plus 3 years for someone
Right.
who's lapsed.
yeah, I would think you would want it to be 1:30 instead of 4:30.
That's how we
Since that's
typically
the
do,
whole
right? If they
basis.
come in right before or right around, right? That's fine.
Okay, motion to approve. Do
Second.
I have a second? Okay. David,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Deirdre,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. All right, so that's all the dockets. Next is renewal status report. Matt?
Yes, so for the January 30th group, there were 103 LSPs on the renewal list. We heard from all but 5 LSPs, so those 5 LSPs had their license lapse. We also had a good number of LSPs notify us of their decision to retire their license. And Natasha will report out that list of recently retired LSPs under item 8C in a few minutes.
All right, very good, thanks, Matt. Other renewal related matters, I don't think we have any. Licensing related matters, Matt, could you talk about scheduling of future or status of ARPs and new applications?
We have an open ARP for Nicholas Guidi. The ARP did meet. This is ARP 359, members McKinley, Franklin, and Smith. The ARP met on February 6th last week to review his application. The ARP had questions and needed some things clarified. So the application was sent back to the applicant requesting more information. And now we have 3 new applications that came in since the last meeting and looking for volunteers. There's 3 total and there's 8 members on the call. So I'd like to divvy it up if everyone is okay with taking one.
Yeah. Matt, I have to leave for my other meeting. You can assign me one. How's that?
Okay.
Yep, I gotta go.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I
Say
can
Everybody
sit
else
on
okay
one.
with that?
Same for me, both things. I have another meeting and I would do one if you need me. Thank you.
Okay,
Deirdre, bye.
okay. Everybody else okay with that, or anyone dissent to my suggestion?
That's
Objection.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
I will create the ARPs and let you know later this week. We have 2 of them that are ready for review, so be ready. And I'll get those emails out later this week, like I said. Oh, the 3 candidates, Sebastian Rodriguez of WSP, Matthew McCullough, he works for a company called MC2 out of California, and Patrice Plant from Wilcox and Barton. So does anybody have any need to recuse before I set up ARPs?
I need to recuse from Sebastian.
Okay,
No recusal needed
Yeah.
for McBride.
Yeah, I don't have a recusal either.
okay. I'll send out the official recusal form tomorrow and get it on record, and then I'll set up the ARPs. Thank you.
That's good. Okay, next up is the inactive status report. Natasha, can you report out?
Yes, so total number on inactive status is 2, with 1 LSP due to come off inactive status on April 30th, 2027. LSP notified the board he would seek renewal of his license and status has been updated to lapsed. This is for LSP 1736 Daniel Fullen. Our current number of active LSPs, 386. And for our retired LSPs, we have the following list, starting with October 2025, John Swallow, 6331, Mary Lou Armstrong, 9536, December 2025, Joseph Higgins, 7196, Rick Womack, 5463, Kim Henry, 7122, Alan Walker, 6894. For January 2026, we have Irvin Silverstein, 8559, Richard Standish, 2242, Stephen Shop, 6543, Andrew Irwin, 9997, Janine Westervelt, 4097, Timothy Ward, 4832, George Preble, 9995, Prasanta Buhia, 2999, Ambrose Donovan, 4755, Timothy Stone, 4856. For February 2026, we have James DeCoulis, 9360. And for our annual fees report, a total of 417 2026 annual fee invoices were processed and notifications sent out January 2nd. LSPs have 60 days from the date listed on their invoice to pay. Payment can be made via e-place accounts using either the pay online or pay by mail option. If using the pay by mail option, please be sure to include your LSP number on your check, as this will ensure your account is credited properly. Thank you.
That's a record number.
It was a big group for renewal in January, and some decided to retire.
Yeah.
And some got to 48 credits. They needed.
Nobody's mad about that.
All right.
As I remember, there was only a few years ago that we were at 500.
Yeah, it was about 5.
Yeah,
It was about 550 when I started.
Yeah.
Maybe people will come back now.
Well, I think in the next agenda item, we'll
Well,
have some
right,
increases.
that's a perfect seg into the exams part of our,
So we have an opportunity for new people to become an LSP. So the exam update, the next round of exams are still scheduled for April 8th through 10th. And will be held at the DP office in Worcester. The board website has been updated with these dates, and approved applicants will be notified next week to register and sign up for the exam.
do you have a tally of approved applicants at this point who still have to take the exam?
So today we approved 3, so there's 15 will take the exam, and there's a few in the queue. So I think we're planning for about 20 for those dates, plus or minus.
That's good.
But the 15 includes people who have already taken it.
Yes.
Yeah. Once, at least.
Yeah. Some of them, not all of them, right?
Two were 12.
Okay, continuing education committee report, David?
Yeah, we met today. We approved the minutes from last month. We approved 11 courses and heard about a reoffering for one. And we're gonna meet next month, March 7th.
All right, let's see, professional conduct committee report, Jamie?
Voted to approve the minutes, discuss the remaining case left on the docket, which is in the final stages of execution of an ACO, which should wrap that up within the next month. And that was all.
All right. That brings us to item 13, which is the report from last week's last month's rather, quasi judicial session. I will give that. So this was regarding administrative consent order about complaint 18C02. At quasi judicial session on January 3rd, 2026, the CRT members for complaint 18C02 is Batchelder and Ms. McBride, both present remotely, and Ms. Wood, present in person, presented the terms of a proposed early settlement that, if approved, would resolve this complaint prior to the presentation of a CRT report or the issuance of an order to show cause. During the presentation, the LSP's name was not discussed. The other members of the board who were present were as follows: Kathy Campbell, Kirk Franklin, Paul McKinley, and Jamie Smith were present remotely. David Austin was present in the room. Board members absent were Mr. Ellis and Ms. Manoyo. Board member Diane Baxter and staff member Matthew Line were both recused and were also not present. The CRT members briefly explained that they had been investigating both A, the allegations presented by the complaint that focused mainly on one site, and B, possible violations at 4 additional sites. The CRT's preliminary assessment prior to CRT report of the LSP's work at these sites has been presented in writing to the board prior to the quasi-judicial session. The CRT members said that they had not yet fully concluded their investigation or drafted a CRT report. Nevertheless, they said they had substantially completed their investigation and had formed enough of an opinion to join with the respondent LSP in presenting a joint proposed early settlement agreement for the board's review and approval. The proposed settlement was that 1, the LSP's license would be suspended for 90 days, and 2, the LSP would need to take 16 credits of continuing education in certain content areas in courses pre-approved by the board, and 3, those 16 credits cannot be applied toward the LSP's next license renewal. At the conclusion of discussion, a motion was made and seconded to accept the terms of the proposed agreement. The 5 board members present who were not on the CRT and were not recused approved the motion unanimously. Thereafter, the respondent signed an administrative consent order. The suspension of the LSP's license began on February 1st, 2026. Throughout this discussion, the respondent LSP's name was kept confidential. Now that this complaint has been resolved, the LSP's name, Reginald H. Achilles, is being made public. That's all.
Thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda is application forms. Terry?
So I think Matt has an update as well, but I'm just saying that we have worked and we think we have the forms pretty much fixed. There were issues with some of the spacing on the updated forms, but we've worked with IT and we think that's pretty much corrected. And Matt has one other issue about application forms to talk about.
Okay, it's not really an issue, it's just a suggestion that came from an ARP. For the professional reference form, the last page, it's like half blank. And a reference not too long ago actually typed in some additional comments that the ARP thought were helpful. So my thought would be to update the form to maybe have a prompt there to say other comments at the bottom and let somebody, if they want to say, you know, whatever they feel is on their mind. It's not a direct answer to one of the questions on the form. Allow them to do so and kind of encourage that.
And just letting you guys know that unless you have any issue with it.
I think that's a good idea. Just make it not be mandatory, just say.
Optional
Optional.
comments. Yeah, like a lot of surveys have that, you know,
Yeah.
just give somebody a chance to write something in that's not directly related to a question that we're asking.
Yeah. That's
Good idea.
Everybody okay?
All right, good. Let's see, Terry, updating the board website.
Since the last meeting, we, the page on the website, regarding statutes and regulations has been overhauled. To change the look of it, and also, to add the verbiage we're supposed to have, that the regulations on our website are not an official version. And if somebody wants an official version, they have to go to the Mass Register. And obviously the updated version of the regs are now on the website, as well as I said before, a red line, just so people can see the differences between the previous 2005 version, a copy of the background document that gives the reasoning for the amendments is also there, as well as the response to the comments that we received. We also now are working on making sure that everything on the website will comply with the new regulations. So some of the renewal forms, et cetera, are being updated to make sure everything is now compliant with the new amendments.
All right. Personnel budget and fees.
I don't have anything to report on those topics.
Okay, status of board member vacancies. Where Terry and I are still working on getting a new board member. Not a lot of progress. We did meet with a person, but we're waiting for that person to respond, to think about it a little more. So hoping. Other business, I have none. Anything else? All right, our next meeting is March 10th. And we're adjourning at 1:14.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.